Our final draft recap with a special guest all goes down next on Raider Nation News Today.
The United States.
Sanctioned by the new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
Welcome to the house at Hammer, built by the nation for the nation. Welcome to Raider Nation News Today. If it's your first time in here, consider breaking them thumbs, hitting them subs, and smashing the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. We have a special guest backstage. As I said in the soft opening, this is going to be the final draft recap that we do here. But without any further ado, let me bring in sports reporter Deb Whitcas. Welcome back to the vault.
Of course. I'm so always a pleasure to be here.
How's everything going? First off.
Good. I mean, I'm ready for football season.
I think we all are now, because there really has not, at this point, now that the draft is over, I feel like there's nothing that's going to be really talked about until we get closer to training camp in the preseason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we're still hanging on the draft a little bit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like still talking about it, and then obviously things will switch to training camp in a couple of weeks. So I'm so many changes this off season already. A great draft, and I'm excited to see what comes of this new season.
What really stood out for you, at least for the first round of the draft? Like, what were some of these picks that made you go like, wait, what? Like, why did this happen?
Right. Well, I think first, I mean, everyone knew Bryce Young was going first. I mean, that was a no-brainer. I also was not shocked that CJ Stroud went second. I was a little surprised that Anthony Richardson went fourth. I thought he was going to go a little bit later, and completely shocked that Will Levis fell to the second round. That was a shock to me. I thought that was going to be more of Anthony Richardson's situation, and that's not what happened. And also shocking, Jalen Carter fell to number 9. Whoever would have thought that? Obviously, we know why. He had some problems, some issues. We'll leave it at that. Missed the combine, but and to see him to go to the Eagles was amazing. To see those kids cry when their dreams come true. That's why I love the draft. But yeah, Jalen Carter falling to number 9 and the Eagles grabbing him. I mean, and trading up to do so. That definitely blew my mind.
I've told people, especially with Jalen Carter's situation, it kind of like only made sense for him to go to a team where he's got a whole bunch of his fellow Bulldogs already there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, is there something that people are seeing that everybody else isn't seeing? Like, is this just more of a comfort thing where, like, look, these guys are going to be able to protect him. If he were to go to another team, maybe we would see some weaknesses there. Absolutely. And maybe his game would be like completely exposed. Like I know my guys from Mount Shieldmore, they were Jalen Carter's there, get Jalen Carter. We went with Tyree Wilson, and everybody was going batshit. But for a good couple of months, I had Tyree Wilson on my radar before we even messing around with mock drafts. He was a guy that I was like, he's going to be a good fit. Jalen Carter, just for me, I don't know if it was necessarily the off-field stuff, but I'm just like, I don't think it's gonna. I don't know if he was gonna end up here.
Yeah, and I think honestly too, I think the vets on the Eagles team will really rally around him and really help him out. And I think he needs that. I think he needs that guidance. You know what I mean?
I wholeheartedly agree with that. Now, you talked about Anthony Richardson, you not seeing him going as early as he did, and Will Levis going in the second round. I had it where we were going to see 5 quarterbacks go out in the first round.
Mhm.
And I saw Hendon Hooker and
Yep.
Levis potentially going in the first round, and things went
It went later than I thought too, to be honest.
yeah.
That was a little shocking to me as well.
With Levis, I feel like Tannehill's in his final year in Tennessee.
Hmm.
Um, I'm looking at it from the standpoint like, look, you just drafted this kid Malik Willis last year. You traded a whole bunch of things to get him in the first round, and
Hmm.
now you already dumped on him. Like as a starter, he's 1-2, granted, but
Hmm.
it's like, are we seeing the Josh Rosen 2.0 at the quarterback position now
Right.
that you went and drafted another quarterback? Is Levis going to be your future franchise quarterback of the Tennessee Titans?
And I think he will.
Do you?
Hmm. I do. I think he's strong enough. I think he got a bit of a shaft in this draft, and I mean, I saw him at combine too, and I thought he was great there. I thought he shined. So I think he will be the franchise quarterback for the Titans for sure.
Why were you so surprised where Anthony Richardson was drafted? Like you were at the combine
I
and
know,
we had this conversation and you were so like, oh my God, Anthony Richardson. And now it's like,
he won the
he couldn't go
combine for
later.
me. I knew you were going to ask me that, and he was amazing. But I think the rumors of him not being able to play the game, like he can't read a defense, I think that's going to hurt him. So that's why I was shocked that he went. He went far. He went fourth, right?
Yeah. So I
Mhm.
see
That was the reason why.
I see the Colts had just recently released Nick Foles.
Right.
The
Hmm.
Colts are is it like a foregone conclusion right now that the Colts are throwing Anthony Richardson to the Wolves come week 1?
I mean, they haven't had much success at the quarterback position for a bit. I mean,
More or
Carson
less
Wentz.
since Peyton Manning.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm trying to think. I mean, Wentz.
Well, Andrew Luck as well. I forgot about Andrew Luck.
I mean, Andrew Luck, of course. Yeah, that's true. I forgot him too. How did I forget Andrew Luck? No, I mean, like Carson Wentz, and yeah. I mean, I think we'll see. We'll see what happens if he's going to be QB1 this season.
Just after seeing that news the other day, I was like, "Oh my
Mhm.
God, is this what we're doing?" And I've said this before, especially when it comes to quarterbacks more than any other position realistically drafted in the first round. Like it really
Mhm.
is a land of uncertainty. You don't know what these guys are capable of at the next level, and you'll
Yep.
have some that you throw to the wolves, and then
Mhm.
everybody will eviscerate them. Oh, this guy is a bust. Da 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 da.
Yep.
How's
And
that fair?
statistics show that more quarterbacks who were drafted in the second round do better than the ones in the first round.
Right.
It's like, I don't have the stat in front of me, but yeah, I mean, it's been said, if they were drafted second, third, then they do better than the ones in the first round. So I guess I wasn't too upset that Will Levis went in the second round then, but who
I
knows?
think I
I,
think for him, I
I
think for him it's going to work out because
Yeah.
you have certain teams and the true ongoing trend in the NFL when it comes to a lot of these quarterbacks recently. It's like, hey, we're going to let you learn behind this starter for a year,
Mhm.
let you develop. Year 2, maybe you're a starter, whatever the case may be. And I think with Levis, we're probably going to see that unless they have Tannehill on a short leash this coming season.
Mhm.
But I think it's only best that like guys like that, yeah, learn for a year behind the starter, learn behind the vet, develop your craft. You see what happens. Richardson now, from what we're talking about now, it's like, dude is gonna be a starter right away. Like, good luck with that.
Right. Well, and I think too. I mean, like, look at Sam Howell. Sam Howell was behind, Wentz and Heineke at the Commanders, and now he's stepping up, and they didn't draft a quarterback, so they're going with him. So yeah, I mean, they waited a year. He trained. He looked great in that last game that he played for the Commanders. Won it, and we'll see how he does, So I agree with you with that year there. And then look at Brock Purdy. I mean, oh my God, like he was drafted what, 6th or 7th round?
Mr. Irrelevant,
Yeah,
not so irrelevant anymore.
not so irrelevant anymore. So I mean, with Trey Lance being hurt and out, and possibly coming back, Brock Purdy it's rumors are he's the guy. So
Yeah,
whoever would
but
have thought
also
this time last year, right?
him going down with that injury in the playoffs, they're still uncertain about him and when exactly it is he's going to be able to take the field again. So,
Right.
with the Niners, it's a touchy situation right now. Like Garoppolo's gone. Garoppolo is now a Raider. Trey
Which I
Lance.
love. I love that. I
Uh-oh.
cannot wait to see him in gray and black. I'm very excited about this.
Silver and black. Silver
Oh,
and black, you Charger fan, you.
I like silver so much better than gray. Similar though, right?
But with Trey Lance, like it's another one. Like you traded the whole farm to get him, and you just it was a quarterback carousel realistically in San Francisco, and like again with Brock Purdy and the uncertainty when he's going to be able to step back on the field. Like is Trey Lance going to be that guy come the start of this season?
Mm-hmm.
Yet to be seen. Now you and I talked off air before, and we were talking about the tight end positions. You were very surprised in regards to Dalton Kincaid going as late as he did.
I was shocked.
Why?
I thought I'm doing a little coverage for the Chargers, and I was thinking Dalton Kincaid was going to be their first round pick, number 21. They went with Quentin Johnston instead, wide receiver. I thought maybe they would go with a tight end because their new offensive coordinator really likes to implement tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like Dalton Kincaid. I think he's a really good, gifted pass catcher. He kind of resembles a wide receiver one, but he's very good at blocking. Big guy. Yeah, I mean he was like 2022 first team all Pac-12. He caught 70 passes for 890 yards, 8 touchdowns in college, given third team All-American honors from the Associated Press. I don't know. I like him.
And Kincaid ended up going to Buffalo, right?
I think so. Yeah.
They're going to end up using him more of. They're going to end up using him as a slot. They're going to use him as a slot because they just signed or extended rather Knox last offseason. But you could also see probably a 2 tight end tandem. But again, with Kincaid, you'll most likely see him playing in the slot a little bit more. But there was another tight end that was drafted that realistically he should have gone ahead of any of these other tight ends that went before him. But look, the Raiders made some moves. We traded up and we got him, and we're talking about Michael Mayer.
I'm getting the thrills.
And I know you were like ecstatic when we were having this conversation before. So tell everybody what your thoughts on him and what you think he's going to do at the next level.
It was him and Dalton Kincaid I was looking at, to be drafted by the Chargers at number 21. I love that he was nicknamed Baby Gronk. And I think that's part of it. Very, very similar traits, to Rob Gronkowski. I even heard that Rob reached out to him to give him the congrats. Last year's draft, I actually had a chance to talk with Rob, with Gronk about the tight end position being, at the draft. And I talked to him right after the first round, and I asked him, are you concerned that only one tight end went last year? And he was like, not really, he's like, tight ends really don't get drafted in the first round. Like, unless you're a Kyle Pitts, then, then it's cool. So he was really cool, with my questions. But no, I like Michael Mayer. I mean, drawing comparison to Gronk, obviously NFL Hall of Famer, will be at least once he, can be. Yeah, I mean, he went to Notre Dame. He was regarded as one of the best tight ends to ever put on a Notre Dame jersey. His final season, he recorded 809 yards with 67 catches, 9 touchdowns, named first American All-American throughout his college career. I think actually a couple times. He's a complete tight end, and that's, what the Raiders need.
And that
So
was the comparisons that I was seeing was obviously Gronk, and the recent comparison from draft day was
mhm.
that of Mark Andrews to the Baltimore Ravens. So
Okay.
to be compared to two elite tight ends, like
Yeah.
that says a
That's
lot.
good.
It's like, dude, you do have some expectations to live up to, but
Right.
I'm excited to see this kid. Like we did also add Austin Hooper and OJ Howard via free agency, but
Mhm.
I've said that Mayer's going to be that day one starter. Hooper will still be there. OJ Howard is probably it's a on the fence type thing. Probably go through training camp, go through preseason, be lucky to be on the week one roster, but we
Mhm.
shall see.
I like Austin Hooper too.
So
Don't
do
get
I.
yeah.
He's a tight end that I have followed his career. I
Well,
think
like
he's a
yeah.
very solid dude, two-time Pro Bowler, and another guy that he can catch, he can block,
Mhm.
and he's not one of those dudes that we have to really worry about when it comes to durability. And the same can be said for Michael Mayer. So I'm
Mhm.
happy to see these two together. McDaniels could definitely be bringing back that old system where we saw Gronk and Aaron Hernandez, that
Okay.
two tight end, two-headed monster that was just doing it up in New
Right.
England.
Getting
Um,
close.
I'm looking forward to it, especially having a quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo that has the familiarity with that system. He hasn't played under this system in about 6 years, but maybe for him relearning Mandarin, he will be just fine.
Well, I feel like Garoppolo can he can just kind of jump in and do his thing. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's that and that's why I like him. He's kind of versatile like that.
What did you think of the pick at quarterback for the Raiders of drafting Aiden O'Connell out of Purdue?
You know, where did he go? Hold on, let me sorry, you have to edit this.
No, we're good. And no, this is going straight live. um,
Okay.
he was drafted in the fifth round, if I
Okay.
remember
Sorry,
correctly.
I'm a little blurry after like the fifth and sixth.
Yeah,
Christians quote who was it? You said?
Aiden O'Connell.
Where? I don't even have him. Okay. I don't even have him on here. Let me Oh, Aiden O'Connell. Hi. Fourth round. Okay. Pick he
Fourth
was
round,
picked
my fault.
135. So
Yeah.
he was a walk-on for Purdue originally.
Hmm.
And he ended he was an all-time leader in completion percentage by the time he left. So yeah, I mean Garoppolo's not going to be around forever. So you
Yeah,
definitely
but you
start.
know what? I'm kind of like iffy about this pick, and I've talked about this before, where I think that this guy might be one of those dudes who's like a serviceable backup, unless he does something to really wow this front office and this coaching staff. Like I feel like he's probably going to be a backup, and
Mhm. Well,
uh,
and the Raiders traded a fifth and sixth round pick to New England for him.
yeah.
You seem thrilled.
It was just kind of interesting because, like, look, we came into this draft, we had 12 picks, and then
Right.
by the time it was over, we
9,
had
right?
9. So I was like, all right, well, still a solid draft. I gave this
Mhm.
draft class a B. And people are like, why a B? I'm like, I'm happy with a lot of these picks. Tyree Wilson, I was incredibly happy about.
Of
Jacorian
course.
Bennett, I lost my mind because doing mock drafts, Jacorian Bennett was another guy that was on my radar for months. And I was like, oh my God, we got this kid. And I'm
Right.
looking at him as a corner two come start of the season. Trey Tucker was the one that got all of us like, what the is going on? Like, we have receivers. Why didn't we get a corner here? But then I started watching film on him, and I'm like, okay, I like
He's
it.
tiny. He's tiny for a corner too. He's only 5'9".
Yeah. Well, Tucker, the receiver as well. He's about 5'9", 5'10", but it's like 4.3 speed. All right, cool.
Yeah.
But we have this little engine that
Yeah.
is Hunter Renfro, and it's
Right.
like, are we keeping him? Are we trading him? Like,
Mhm.
and if we were going to trade him, like this would have been the time. But there have been reports out there that the Raiders did try to make calls and people weren't taking it. And it looks like it's because of the money situation. Now, a lot of the nation is like, hey, we should try to trade Renfro and a fifth round pick for Patrick Queen from the Ravens. Like, they just signed Lamar Jackson to that extension. Can they afford to add more money to that cap right now? Like,
Nope.
I don't think realistically that Patrick
Nope.
Queen's going anywhere, at least not for
Yeah.
Hunter Renfro.
And I mean, everyone knew that he was going to go. He was going to go to Ravens for sure. He was going to stay, but I still think it was just the weirdest situation. It took that long, and that's what happens when you don't have an agent.
Mm-hmm.
How does Lamar Jackson not have an agent and was negotiating himself? That blows my mind.
And he said he's going to continue to do it too. He's not going to hire an agent. He's going to continue to represent himself. Good luck with that.
Yeah, it's just a little mind blowing.
I guess betting on yourself. Yeah, he did. I guess betting on yourself isn't always a bad thing.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But there's agents out there that will bet on you too, especially Lamar Jackson. But not my business. I have no idea what happened there. I've never met him. I've never interviewed him. So, but yeah, I'm still. Anyway, so who do you think had the best draft
for the second consecutive year?
The
Eagles, aka the Philadelphia Bulldogs.
For sure, right? Yeah.
Look, that front office, man. Last year I was.
Knows what he's doing.
Yeah, like last year I was incredibly impressed with what I saw from their draft. And then this year it's like the same damn thing. Like, who's the other kid that they got that I had? Was it Nolan Smith?
Yeah.
Nolan Smith. We did a full first round mock draft, and I had Nolan Smith going to the Eagles at 10. Funny enough, he ends up going 30th. I was like, you've got to be shitting me right now. Like, so.
Second round, Tyler Steen. Third round, Sidney Brown. Fourth round, Kaylee Ringo. We got a sixth round quarterback, Tanner McKee. Seventh round, Moro Jamo. So yeah, I mean they won the draft for
and
sure.
Tanner McKee was actually a guy that I wanted. Like I was saying, hey, maybe the third round he could be that quarterback for us. We got Aiden O'Connell instead, but it is what it is. But yeah, Eagles definitely, again, second consecutive year, they won this draft, and it is what it is. Like, I still think the Raiders had a very, very good draft. I think with this front office in its second year, look, last year we didn't have a first and second round pick as a result of the trade for Tay. We had first and second round picks. We had that major steal in regards to getting Michael Mayer the way we did. I overall think, like, they're building this team to fill those holes, to fill the needs right now. And I've told the viewers I'm not giving any assessments, any predictions on our win-loss record this year until after week 3, until I can see the full 53-man roster and really assess everything to be like, hey, this is what our record's going to be. This is how far we can go. But until then, I'm not doing it.
Right. But I was going to say, too, I think the Texans had a good draft too. I just have to give them a bit of a shout out because they're definitely in rebuilding. I mean, the fact that they got CJ Stroud this second pick and then came around and got the third pick, my mouth hit the floor, my jaw hit the floor, and then picked Will Anderson. So they got offense and defense all within the first 3 picks of the draft. I thought.
And what's funny was you had the reports out there that the Texans were not interested in CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud has the same representation that Deshaun Watson has. They didn't want to relive that movie again. And it's like, oh, with the second overall pick, we're like, are you kidding me right now? Like, this is why I can never go by what a lot of the media will say, or these reports that come out. Oh, we're not interested in this player, or we're not going to release this guy. And 3 days later, that move made that. The opposite is done. It's like you can never trust what goes on behind the scenes of a professional sports team in any way, shape, or form.
No. Everything hides. Yeah, I mean, you have your insiders, of course, who I trust, but you just never know. You never know, and every day is different. Every minute is different sometimes when it comes to the NFL.
Absolutely.
That's why I love it.
Oh, Deb, it's always a pleasure. You're more than welcome to come on anytime and chop it up. And we're definitely going to have to talk at some point as we get closer to the regular season, or even during the regular season, where we have our matchups against your Chargers.
There's more weapons around Justin Herbert, this year, and they're building on that. So
I won't hold my breath.
You never know.
But let the viewers know where they can find you.
Sure. On Instagram, I'm at Sport Report Deb, as well as Twitter. And where else? I'm on LinkedIn too, Deb Whitcas. And if anybody wants to, any questions for next time, let me know. Happy to answer anything, anytime. Reach on out.
Always a pleasure having you on. We'll definitely be talking soon.
All right, sounds good. Thank you,
Take care.
guys.
That was Deb Whitcas. Another great interview with her. For those, again, first timers, definitely don't let it be last. Consider hitting that subscribe button and leave your comments in the comment section below as well. We will be back some point this week if we get any new Raiders news. Now that the draft is over, there really hasn't been much to cover, but we will be back very, very soon. Much love to everybody in here. Continue to stay safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. And as always, win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation till I die. Till next time, y'all. Peace, love, and positivity. I'm out.